Shalom, shalom, Haverim. Baruch haba, ani David Valentin. And that's all the Hebrew you're going to hear from me. Welcome to another unsolicited and uneducated football analysis with your friend David Valentin. This time dedicating it to one of the clubs that I follow, Maccabi Haifa. Yalla Maccabi! The green machine of northern Israel. The prodigal children of the Galilee. That's who we're going to talk about. And why have I taken so long to make a video about Maccabi Haifa? Well, first, it has been very difficult for me to stay up to date on what's going on with the club all the way here in Orlando, Florida. So, again, I like to do things where I feel that I have my footing on. But the events of the past few days had led for me to make a video about the back-to-back champions of the Israeli League. Real quick, how do I become a Maccabi Haifa fan? Well, I'm of Jewish descent through my father, Sephardic ancestry. My wife is of Ashkenazi ancestry. I am a member of a local synagogue here in Orlando. So, of course, I wanted to follow a team from Eretz Israel. And it just happened that in the local Israeli restaurant, they have games on Sundays. And I will sometimes visit. And while I was eating, I will see the games on the TV. And I said, well, which team should I follow? Well, I figured, Haifa is the only place that I have visited in Israel. I did so in 1997 as a member of the United States Navy on board the USS George Washington. Incredible story, great food, beautiful women. Almost stayed behind because of a girl, of course, until my good friend Juan Perez from Chicago put some sense in my head and forced me to go back. But I've been wanting to return to the land all these years, and now that I have returned to the roots of our faith last 12 years or so, I definitely been wanting to return. And I also worked for a Israeli laser manufacturer for 2 years, and a lot of my coworkers were Maccabi Haifa fans. I'm not gonna say the name of the company. I'm not gonna say where it's based out of. I'm just gonna say it's in the periphery of Haifa because I don't want to throw my business out there on the internet. And so I said, Haifa is the only city I visited. My friends already follow this team. I'm gonna follow it myself. So that's it. I bought 2 shirts. I have a scarf. I have bought some memorabilia, and I have followed the club ever since. And I try to watch as much as possible what's available. Unfortunately, here in the United States, getting the games is all but an impossibility. But lately, Maccabi Haifa has been on the news, so that's what pushed me to make the video. So Maccabi Haifa in the European Champions League recently at Sami Ofer Stadium in Maccabi Haifa defeated Juventus, one of the giants of Italian football. And all of a sudden people want to know what the heck is going on. Why is Israel in UEFA? Why who's this team, and how did a team like Juventus falls victim to virtual unknowns? Well, you cannot talk about Israel without talking about politics and talking about religion. They go hand to hand, unfortunately. This video is about football. I'm not gonna go into depth with all the issues that are very well known when it comes to the state of Israel. But I have to tell you, the main reason is Israel has been boycotted by several nations in Asia, and because they will not play them, Israel has chosen to go to UEFA. This is Israel's choice because according to FIFA, They can just force the issue and stay in Asia. And if those teams don't want to play them, well, guess what? You're surrendering 3 points. World Cup, here we go. And so kudos to the Israelis for standing up to the fact that they want to compete. Previously, they were in the Oceania Confederation. You can imagine flying from Israel all the way to the Pacific. Super expensive, super difficult. Africa is out of the question, as again, there's nations there that will not play them. Mostly in Northern Africa, and Latin America. The Americas is completely out of the question at this point. So that's the reason why Israel is there. For those that are crying that a nation country should not be in UEFA, Turkey only has 5% of its territory in Europe. Kazakhstan has about 3% of its territory in Europe. Russia only has 25% of its territory in Europe, yet they get to play in UEFA. So I don't want to hear it. And Cyprus is an Asian island that culturally is attached to Europe, therefore they play there. And I have to say that if Iceland chose to, since half of the territory is in half of the island actually belongs to the North American plate, they could be in CONCACAF if they wanted to. If I'm them, I choose to go to CONCACAF and dominate there. But they choose to stay in Europe, so that's a story for another day. So with that said, my friends, Maccabi Haifa. Who are these guys? Well, let's go a little bit about their history. And of course, I'm cheating. I'm using Wikipedia here. Maccabi Haifa is one of the big four clubs in Israeli football. The meaning of the name Maccabi, there is no one like you among the gods, also refers to the Star of David, or also known as the Magen David in Hebrew. And I want to say one thing, which is the star that you see here. Actually, the letters, the Maccabi, the word in Hebrew Maccabi forms the Magen David, what is also known as the Star of David. And a lot of people in the West associate the Magen David with Judaism, but actually what the star represents is the 6 cardinal points where God is king: the east, the west, the north, the south, above our heads and below our feet. So that's what that actually means, and it has been a symbol so emblematic of the Jewish people in the last 2,000 years that, when the state of Israel was reborn in 1948, it was chosen to be on the flag. And I continue. The side has won 14 league titles, 6 state cups, and 5 Toto Cups. Maccabi Haifa has won the championship and the cup in the same season. Oh, in my screen? Well, there we go. And the same season, I'm sorry. And I was the first Israeli club to qualify to the group stage of the UEFA Champions League in the 2002-2003 UEFA Champions League season. Maccabi holds the record for the most Champions League group stage qualifications for an Israeli team in 3 occasions. In 2021, Maccabi Haifa won the Premier League, the Israeli Premier League, the first championship in a decade. Maccabi Haifa is 109 years old. Nicknames: the Greens, the Green from the Carmel, which is a mount very famous for the Baha'i gardens in Haifa. Sami Ofer, which is the stadium, is named after a shipping tycoon that originally born in Romania, served in the British Navy during World War II, and Haifa is the home of the Israeli Mediterranean Fleet, and has a huge Navy base, hence the reason why when I was in the Navy we visited, and there's a lot of commerce coming out of Haifa, a lot of fishing, so that's why it's named after Sami. who unfortunately passed, I believe 2011, 2012, if I'm not mistaken. The capacity is 30,780 souls. The head coach is Barak Bakhar, a man of, just like my kids, of Sephardic and Ashkenazi descent. And they're back-to-back champions. They won in 2021 and 2022. The colors of the club, obviously green, as you can see by my jersey. And the club also, aside from football, has women's football, has men's basketball, swimming, handball, weightlifting, tennis, volleyball, judo, chess, and water polo. The club actually precedes the reestablishment of the Nation of Israel. Maccabi Football Club was established in 1913 in the port city of Haifa in the Mustafa, right? I hope I'm saying that correctly, of Jerusalem, present-day Israel, as the local football association. Local football association wasn't founded in mandatory Palestine until 1928. There were no officially recognized competitions during the season, and the club played only friendly matches. So now we go to the rivalries. Who are the rivals of this club? Well, you should care. The two that the fan base does care about. Number one is Hapoel Haifa. They tend to have, or they do have a shark as part of their badge. Most people call them sardines, just to be disrespectful. Is a club that, while in the early years was the club of the rich, the club of the elite, has fallen to the side as Haifa, the club of the people, the club of everyone, because Haifa is a very diverse city. So one of the important facts about Maccabi Haifa is that 25% of the Israeli football fans consider themselves Maccabi Haifa fans. And not only that, it's the number one team among Arab Israelis and the number one team among women of all faiths. So that should be that should be important to say. And this is backed by different polls. This poll from 2011 is the one that confirms what I just told you guys. So with that, is a team that has among its players Arabs, of Druze, Christian, and Muslim faith. It has Jews of different backgrounds, from Ashkenazi, from European descent, Sephardic, Mizrahi, Central Asia, Ethiopians have played for this club. Also, it's just the fan base is just very inclusive. You can see it in the stands. People who basically represent the palette of places where the Jewish people lived in the 2,000-year exile. So to me, I just very proud of that, because there's other clubs, I'm not gonna mention them, in Israel that tend to have one of them famously had a documentary made about them, about their nationalism, xenophobia, and racism. And to me, it makes me mad that the negative it's what's shown about Israeli football. A football club like Maccabi Haifa, where's the documentary? Where's the documentary about the inclusiveness and the love and the affection that this fan base has with its club, and the club with its fan base? Unfortunately, that doesn't sell, I guess. The other team that Maccabi Haifa has found itself competing for the love of the people is Maccabi Tel Aviv. Both cities couldn't be more different. Maccabi is blue collar, traditional, hardworking mix, and people that just want to live their lives and be happy. Meanwhile, Tel Aviv is very liberal, very cosmopolitan. Most people will say Tel Aviv is just a European city that lost its way and found itself on the shores of Asia Minor. So they're very different, and their clubs definitely represent different views, world views, different attitudes toward anything. And just like everything in the world, clubs they tend to represent who their fans are. While Tel Aviv had the best of the rivalry in the past few years, Maccabi Haifa has definitely gone the best out of them. Players to mention, obviously, they're all important, but players that an American audience that is being introduced to this club should know. Let's see here. Joran Shari, he is a player born in the Netherlands of Surinamese ancestry, and I have to tell, I've been dying for the United States to play Suriname, so I can get my scarf signed by this man. Super dangerous guy, high scorer. I really, really like this guy. 34 years old, basically tail end of his career. Another player that needs to be mentioned is Omer Atsili. This is the guy that scored 2 goals against Juventus. 29 years old. This is a guy of Romanian Israeli ancestry, and a guy, if I can be very selfish, Atzili, if you ever want to come to the United States, specifically Orlando, I will go pick you up at the airport. That's all I'm saying. Don't Maccabi Haifa fans, don't hate me for that. All I'm saying is I really like this guy. A great surprise is Franz D. Pierrot. He is Haitian American who is setting the Israeli league on fire at the moment. And Mohamed Abufani, another player that I really like. Abufani is everything that the Israeli haters say that doesn't exist. Young, Arab, Muslim, national team player for Israel, and a great footballer. And he is a guy with a great attitude, great skill, and is the type of guy that will leave everything, every drop of blood, sweat, and tears on the pitch in order to win. And lastly, Josh Cohen, the goalkeeper. Josh is an American that played in the USL. Last was in Sacramento Republic, and interestingly was linked to Atlanta United this past summer window. It would have killed me to see Josh in our rival here, Orlando's rival, but Josh is doing fantastic in Israel. Proof that the American player sometimes just needs an opportunity. A lot of people would have had discounted Josh because he plays second division in the United States, but look at the quality that he's achieving. The guy is playing in UEFA Champions League. Do you really think that we have that? Would you thought that we had that quality of player in USL out of all places? Well, evidently we do. So great for us here in the United States. So with that said, things that I like about the team, their website shows you how to learn the songs that the supporters sing on game day, which I think it's awesome. Unfortunately, here in the United States, that's something that we have complained about, that people don't learn the songs because, well, there's always this wall of division between the fans and the supporter groups. Um, One of the things that I would love to, if any Maccabi Haifa supporters is watching this, can you please tell me if I can find a place where I can buy merch for the club? Unfortunately, the website translates everything from Hebrew to English except when you're going to buy merchandise. I want to give you my money, Maccabi Haifa. Why you make it so difficult? As a matter of fact, this jersey that I have and another one that I own, I got it basically because I contacted the via email the team store that is at the mall there in Haifa, and I spoke to a gentleman who helped me out and got me the jerseys. He thought he was doing me a favor by sending them the cheapest way possible. It took like a month, almost a month and a half for me to get them. But I for sure got my shirts, and I'm very thankful for that. So that's another thing. And now, if you're a Maccabi Haifa fan, I have this request. I want to get Green Ape merchandise. Please, I want to get a scarf, a t-shirt, something. Been dying to. And if any of you know, any of you are Maccabi Haifa fans and know of ways to watch the team live, because unfortunately right now I get to watch the games after the fact. That's not fun, but it's better than nothing. Either on YouTube or on the highlights, but I want to be able to experience the games live as much as possible. So do me a solid. So again, Maccabi Haifa, club that I'm really attracted to. I'm trying my best to support. It's definitely on the bucket list for me to go to Israel very, very soon. My oldest son was bar mitzvah 2 years ago. My youngest one will be this December, and they have asked me that we want to go to Israel, and if we do, we have to do it during football season because I want to go to Sami Ofer and experience the mighty Maccabi Haifa live. And besides, it will be a good opportunity to go see my friends, and what better place that under the stars at Sami Ofer. So again, hopefully this shines some light into the club. The quality of Israeli football, in my opinion, is very good. I have said that is a championship level, English championship level. Some people have disagreed with me, and I get it. In fact, a very, very well-known Orlando City player that happened to play in Israel told me that aside from Maccabi Haifa, Maccabi Tel Aviv, which are at that level, the rest of the league is pretty much like League One, English League One, League Two. So I leave it at that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't pay attention to any other team unless they're playing Maccabi Haifa. So perhaps he's 100% correct on that. So anyhow, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Florida_man76, where I am talking about football all the time. Not only Maccabi Haifa, but Orlando City, which is my local club, in which dedicates a ton of time. This channel dedicates a ton of time to. Also, Stevenage in England, and I'm also a podcaster. Loud and Proud Orlando on YouTube, live 8:30 Mondays. And also on audio, and this channel, the legendary David, where I vlog about Orlando City constantly and all things football, including this video. So with that said, if you could subscribe, give me a thumbs up, follow me on Twitter, I will definitely appreciate that. Thank you very much for sitting down and for the last 24 minutes hear me ramble. I am recording this during Sukkot. So, Chag Sameach to everybody. I hope you are enjoying your time in the sukkah. And trust me, this week I'll be shaking the lulav, hoping that Maccabi Haifa harvest more and more and more success. How's that? Thank you very much. Hopefully, if you're a Maccabi Haifa fan, we'll follow each other on social media, continuing this journey. and I want to make more friends in the club. That's pretty much it. For the fifth time, thank you very much. Shalom, shalom. And as always, Yalla Maccabi.